Welcome everybody to the TI4 Qualifiers presented by Monster Energy. We're the NA Hub. I'm God. Joining me is LD, Cinder, and Sunsen. We've got ourselves in the Chinese Qualifiers with some tiebreaker matches. LD, how you feeling? Bit short?
A little short.
Cinder, actually, Sunsen is always deceptive. You're deceptively tall.
Am I? He's got like the hulking.
You don't see me and Cinder, and we slouch. So we
I'm
actually
also
like
deceptively fat as well. So I don't know. I got both things.
I'm actually deceptively fat. Like I look like a skinny guy, but I've got a big.
What did you guys do to this microphone?
Oh my god.
It's disgraceful.
We've got tiebreaker matches.
Yes.
Brian just called me disgraceful. All right, sorry.
Good.
We have tiebreakers. You were saying.
That was it. We've got tiebreakers.
we have two tiebreakers. So the one we're going to be jumping into right now is the tie for second place, which is only with two teams. So this is a best of one deciding who goes to the winner bracket.
And that's Tongfu and Zhou versus CIS.
Yep.
And we also have a three-way tie.
Yes, and I do not remember all the teams by heart, but you do. So that's good.
This is where we go to the stats.
Nothing like a three-way.
It's LGD CDEC, it's Dreamtime, who, so the surprise of some, did not make it directly into the playoffs. And
I hope you're playing that song, Brian, during the intro.
The last team is last team is Hyper Glory Team.
Look, me and Brian are having a separate conversation.
They're having a side debate. Okay, so Cinder and Sunsfan.
CDEC, Dreamtime, HGT,
yes.
the other one. And we have a game running at the same time in BTS 2, which is
MOT as well as what is Hypercasting Dreamtime versus HGT. Okay. So Dreamtime versus HGT, the two teams people expect to be finished second and third, are currently playing to stay alive.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And the thing is, with a three-way tie for fourth place, only one of those three teams is going to advance. So in theory, it's whoever goes 2-0, but there's also a possibility where you have a 1-1 tie and then time ratings decides it.
If that happens, there are no more games. It is straight time rating. The teams are instructed about the rules in advance, so you want to take as long as possible to lose if you're going to lose, and you want to win as quickly as possible. Okay. Those are the time rating rules.
So,
with that being said, the draft's underway, guys, but real quickly, predictions.
I want predictions.
CIS.
Well, like, predictions for the whole playoffs. Like, honestly, like, this is second place. Second place is important, but these two teams we're about to see are both in the playoffs.
So what teams go to the playoffs?
And who's going to win this match as well?
Okay, CIS is going to win this and get second place because of that. That means Tongfu will get third.
Yep.
And then of the three other teams, what was that?
LGD, CDEC, DT, and Hyper Glory Team.
DT will pull through.
Okay.
I have to pick DT as well, although they've been very disappointing. I'm going to pick Tongfu in this match just to be different, though, and then obviously CIS for third.
No one cares about the second, third place match. It actually does matter, though. You lose this game.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Wow. But these teams are all in the playoffs, so it's not the biggest deal, but it is a much easier road. You win this one BO. Jesus. You just left the distancing yourself from me.
I don't agree with LD's thoughts here.
It's not as important. I think we can all agree about that. And, well, we've got the irrelevant Aussie out of the shot. That's good. Okay, my predictions real quickly. I think LGD CDEC are out. Hyper Glory Team, I think, will advance, and DT continue to disappoint today. They won't make it.
Look, I think maybe LGD CDEC will make it into fourth place.
That was very vague and not a prediction.
You missed my pun. You missed the joke.
Well, we've got a draft, guys.
Maybe is the carry player.
Can you go back out of the shot, guys? We've got a draft underway. It's time now, very quickly, for Tongfu and Zhou versus CIS. Casters, take it away. Sunsfan, Cinderin.
Thank you,
over
LD.
to you.
Really appreciate it.
Let me do my incredibly fast draft walkthrough.
Well, first I have to give a shout out to Conrad, who's going to be doing the camera today. Nothing can go wrong with him at the helm, so I'm really looking forward to this game. But yes, go ahead. Do the speed run, please.
Who did have the first pick here? Was it? Who did have? Okay, CIS had the first pick. So CIS started out banning Lycan. Tongfu immediately realized Naga is really good here because CIS has been winning with Naga, so they banned Naga. Brewmaster is a great pick for Tongfu for some reason, so they're going to ban that by CIS. Invoker goes out because Invoker is the first phase pick. Bad Rider got through. Wow, easy first pick up coming in for CIS. Mirana and Trian Protector are great, I heard, so they will be picked together here. That's a good combination. CIS are going to get AA. That's a high pick for them. It's like 50% pick rate, probably like 25% win rate, but who cares? Then they're going to ban OD and Lone Druid because these heroes are good at mid for some reason, and then Wraith King and Dazzle are going to be banned by CIS because they have a really great Dazzle player, but the team doesn't believe in him anymore, and the Wraith King was just going to be great for Tongfu. Tongfu's going to pick Doom because this is China. Sand King goes through. That's great for CIS. He'll grab that one. Nyx goes through to Tongfu. They're going to pick that because he's really good against Bad Rider, Ancient Apparition, and then they also have an Impale so that he and Sand King can go and have fun together. And then Clockwork will be the last pick for CIS game for no apparent reason. Doesn't really counter anything on Tongfu, but at least they have an offlaner.
Okay. So, well done, Cinderin. I feel like you should just solo count. I should just bow out. I think CIS did play Clockwork last game, though.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken.
They did.
And they destroyed with it. It was a nice little hook shot. Destroy them.
That little hook shot destroyed.
The little hook shot and then the force staff out of the cogs. Beautiful stuff. But I don't know what to say about that intro. That was pretty epic, I have to say. Morphling, the last ban for Tongfu. I'm still waking up, so you're going to have to forgive me. And the 5th ban coming. This is the most boring 5th ban now. I can't top what you did.
Just like all moment. What?
I can't. Okay, Huskar's ban, which is truly unfortunate. I was really looking forward to seeing Huskar this game, but I guess that's just not going to be the case. I'm still hoping that Pudge is picked, but I just want to cast one Pudge game during these qualifiers.
Pudge and Tree in particular have really good synergy. The moment you turn on Rod, you lose living armor.
Yes.
So I think that's definitely a go-to pick here for Tongfu.
I agree.
Excellent.
Perfect.
Also, it gets completely countered by every hero on CIS game teams.
Well, what if CIS takes it, huh?
That's true. They have played it in the past, but I think in this game, of course, there's a lot at stake. It's about who gets into the upper bracket final, or the upper bracket, if you will. So they're going to get some sort of stable carry for black. But he has been playing Morphling and Naga as his 2 main carries in the mid lane, if that is going to be the case. Those are out of the picture. Do you think they go for the AM again, picking that into a Doom? It's perhaps a little bit risky.
I hope not. CIS really hurt me in their last game, as you know, Synderen. Weaver's going to be the last pick for Tongfu, so their lanes are looking... Okay, so I guess... Do they want Weaver in the tri-lane, or do they want Mirana? I don't like Weaver off lane very much, but then again, Mirana, we've been seeing more as the 1 role these days, but I guess I'd probably see Weaver, Treant, Nyx in the tri-lane, Doom mid, Mirana off lane? Or you could switch Mirana and Doom a bit. It's a little bit flexible, so I guess that's good for Tongfu, considering we can't exactly pinpoint exactly what they want to do, but...
I think generally Tongfu's draft is kind of underwhelming in terms of the off-lane potential, but when you have living armor, there is of course always the option of putting that together with either the Weaver or the Mirana. If you run the Weaver offlane though, you're going into Sand King AA most likely +1, which, you know, if you get caught by that Burrow Strike, it's pretty easy for them to follow through and lock you down, so... We're going to see if that's Tongfu's choice. They could also try to run an aggressive trial.
Oh, yeah.
CIS out of nowhere.
Oh,
pulling out the PL.
Well, I can see into the future, Synderen. It's going to be one of these games. They just let the illusions do all the damage and just stay back and wait. How about that?
One more time? I don't think so. It's not going to work as easily in this game, but... Looking over at Tongfu's heroes, they don't have too many ways of dealing with illusions. So should Black be able to farm well and get into the late game, I would definitely be favoring CIS's lineup late game. They have good space creating heroes in Batrider and Clockwork, just keeping on getting ganks around the map and just letting Black farm. And Tongfu's lineup, not really the best aggressive trial in potential no matter how they put it, because they have 2 melee supports, so it's kind of underwhelming.
I kind of like Doom,
I like this idea from
Doom
CIS.
against PL is pretty... I kind of like that. Like, you get a Blink Dagger, get a gem on him, initiate in, force the Doppelwalk, and then you know exactly who it is. It's not like he's just going to continue to just right-click, so... Of course, that's not taken into consideration once you have a ridiculous amount of farm, and then you can just right-click him with Doom enabled on top of you and still kill him, because it's PL, and everybody loves PL. Can't remember the last time I've seen PL without a Coddle, though. I remember, so in the patch when Coddle was buffed to your Joy, I guess we could say, a lot of people anticipated PL getting picked a lot. Hasn't really been the case. We've seen it a couple times, but yeah, this should be an interesting game, to say the least. So let's go to lineups of CIS versus Tongfu in this tiebreaker for, I guess, to figure out who's second and third place. How about we look at CIS? I don't want to do something. We're going to have June playing the Clockwork here. Black, of course, on his PL. Batrider played by Inflame in mid.
What an appropriate name.
It's true. That is true. Demons going to be playing the Sand King today. And last but certainly not least, Io. Ayo on Ancient Apparition with the Chilling Touch already leveled.
And for Tongfu, we've got the big bad tree boy played by Mr. Luke. Sorry Fox will be playing as Doom. We'll see if he has to apologize for his performance in this game with that nickname. Weaver, triple U9 or U9. I'm not sure exactly how that's
I prefer the triple U7.
Triple U9 sounds good.
No, the 7 was better when you did that.
They had to have watched our cast for that. Xiaolu on the Mirana, and then finally Kabu will be playing Nyx. And he had a great performance in their last game that we cast against Speed Gaming. So
Nyx.
yes, he was really good in that game. So
he was a professional player.
If he can perform like that once again. Worth noticing, the bottom ward here has been placed by CIS to guard the lane and give some really good vision. There are sentry wards actually on Kabu. We're going to see if he'll find this ward and counter ward it. If not, Black should be in a really great position here, and of course Sand King
mid lane, Leech Seed applied to the Bat Rider. Of course, he doesn't have level 2 yet, so he's just resigned to just running away here. 3 stack of Sticky Napalm on Weaver is going to dissipate, though, and 1 more right click will do the job. First blood going the way of Tongfu. The tower is going to get the kill on Treant, though, and that's giving a level straight off the bat to the AA. So the AA is actually a higher level than the mid. You don't see that every day. And Triple U 7, which I'm going to continue calling him 7 just because in the cast where you misread the 9 as a 7, which was awesome. Can't get over that, Cinder. It was so good.
Doesn't take a lot to entertain you, does it?
That is true.
Okay, okay. Try to transition from that one.
I was trying to, and I failed.
So bottom
well
lane,
done.
as Conrad is pointing out, he's drawing a perfect circle around this sentry ward. This is how you draw a circle. Okay, that wasn't too good either. We'll be spotting out Black here, so perhaps we'll see some harassment coming out from Tongfu's dual lane. But of course, Black on the PL, he has 5 armor, he has a stout shield, and he has a pack of tangos. Sand King has another pack of tangos, and AA has another pack of tangos. So they're going to have to harass a hell of a lot, and I don't know if they can harass
I think
enough.
we need more updates on tangos. Can you go over everybody in the entire game, please?
Yeah. But I won't.
Damn it, Cinderin. Why don't you just do what I tell you?
Because
Okay.
that would be
See,
awful.
there we go. Conrad, that's what I'm talking about. That is a true cameraman right there. Oh, that's you. That's Brian. Okay, screw Conrad. He's doing everything correct, as usual. But okay, I'm woken up. We're good. No more joking around, guys.
Yeah,
Triple
right.
U7 on the Weaver, heading back towards mid lane against that Bat Rider. Actually, how do you see that matchup, Bat Rider versus the Weaver?
Weaver is one of the heroes who does the best against Bat Rider because he is completely... It's kind of irrelevant how many times you get stacked up by Napalm. You can always just get max movement speed with your Kuchi and run away. It's only about the turn rate, so as long as you're facing in the right direction, you're going to be fine. As far as damage goes, Weaver has a massive advantage on damage right now. 17 damage more than the Bat Rider does. Of course, also has Geminate attack, so I'm expecting the Weaver to win this lane. Currently behind by a little bit, but I guess that's because of the shenanigans at level 1. And then the question is who has the higher impact. It's one thing how the lane plays out, but if they fare fairly evenly, you could just say, well, Bat Rider, 7 minutes in with a Blink Dagger, he's just going to be so much more relevant than Weaver with anything he can buy at that point.
Yep, absolutely. And actually, this tri-lane we haven't seen too much action from yet. You expect Sand King to eventually go back into the jungle to get some levels and experience because he's not finding basically anything. But he has to be careful because he doesn't want to leave those nipples. Seriously. The clockwork cogs.
They're
How are
pacifiers.
well, but pacifiers are based on nipples, so you can just call them nipples. Kabu taking a lot of damage from the Ancient Apparition and Demons. Chilling touch. Oh, beautiful arrow's going to hit Demons, but the last right click was there for AO on top of Nyx's face, so he's going to be getting a kill for himself. I believe he's 2-0 this game.
He's 1-0 only. He got the assist, or didn't even get the assist, but he was just in range for the AoE experience on the kill in
yeah,
which
that's right.
Inflame got. But you're right, he's going to be getting really high levels on the AA. He's going to be level 3.5, which is
Look
great.
at this Bat Rider. Poor guy.
Yeah, there is
The Leech
not
Seed
enough
ups in?
mana for a Leech Seed. He's going to have to. Treant's amazing 0.8 mana per second regen is not going to help him out here
Well,
at
it's
all.
made up by like the 50 strength gain he gets per level, so it's all good.
Yeah, probably would make... Then he would be a valid first pick
Yeah.
if he got that. But Black, 16-5. Mirana, 15-1. I think this lane is going more evenly than I would have thought. I would have thought, because of the tri-lane nature of how CIS are playing it, oh, good harassment coming out on Xiao Lu. He will have to leap. He doesn't have it. He got...
Chilling
Did he-
touch.
Wait, what? Did he
good.
get stunned mid-leap by a level 1 Burrow Strike? I think he did.
Huh.
He...
Interesting observation.
Or-
If
yeah,
it's
he
on
must have
cooldown,
been.
I would assuome so, but of course I'd never know because
That's
Conrad doesn't
just-
click on the hero
That's
that I'm trying to look
sick.
at, but it's all good. It's all good, Conrad. I
Wow,
love
that's
you.
just... ridiculous timing. Nothing more to add there by Demons. So he sets up that kill. He's level 3.
I feel like that's a misplace. We're gonna have Doom. Okay, he doomed somebody. What is this? Okay, he's not gonna get the kill. I guess that's all that matters here. Nothing to see here, folks.
Sunsvan is almost killing himself.
You can't hear it.
I know. Oh, I can hear it. So
No.
Treant is finally going to rotate down here to bottom and start being perhaps a more stable part of this tri-lane. It's going to give Tongfu a lot more bursting power and, of course, just sustained damage overall with Leech Seed and 90 attack damage of Treant. Perhaps they can pull something off in this lane. We're going to see if that is going to be the case. But for now, Black is still going to get good farm together with the Mirana. But 5 minutes in, 5:30, he's got 21 CS. At this point on a safe lane Kara, you would like to have 30 or 35. So he's actually been losing out quite a lot because of this dual lane from Tongfu. So it's been working out fairly well, although CIS are ahead by 3-1 on kills.
All right, well, take into consideration also Weaver, who is going to be the late game adversary, if you will, to the PL late game. Is getting way more experience. I mean, a little bit more farm, but way more experience overall. So that's something to keep in mind. We're going to have a pause here. Apparently, ping issues.
Does anyone know what Tiao means? Anyone?
You like asking rhetorical questions. You know nobody knows the answer to this.
Oh, it's maybe you've seen it before. I don't know.
Conrad?
Conrad makes the select.
We all know
move.
what Conrad.
So
His
I'm assuming it means they have high ping, which is a little bit weird because these guys, remember, the Chinese qualifiers are played in a LAN environment. They're played from a hotel where all the teams are participating.
right.
So they should have the same ping. It's a little bit weird if this ping actually means ping, but perhaps it means something else in Chinese. I'm not sure. Could have a secondary meaning.
Yeah, it could, I suppose.
But we do have a pause.
While we have a pause here, and since I don't really want to talk about the game right now, what do you think about the compendium goals that were just added today after the 6? Of course, we're not going to have time to talk about it, which is truly unfortunate. You're going to leave everybody on the edge of their seat, sitting there with your opinions on the matter.
No one cares about my opinions.
140 ping. I think that's okay.
140 ping? Well, that's a little high if they're playing on the perfect world servers from a LAN or from a hotel in China. That should be a little bit better, but I'm assuming it's the same for everyone. How would there be a significant difference?
I'm
Okay,
not
I
sure.
have no idea what this conversation is about, and I don't think we have a translator in the house right now.
Brian,
so
translate this for us, bro.
I'm more interested in Conrad's translation of this. Okie dokie. Oh, really? All right, go ahead. Google Translate is not allowed.
Brian, don't
Okay.
punish me because Syndern's a jerk. Okay? He's going to tell us after the match, apparently.
Right. Okay.
He's going to leave us hanging. All right, actually, let's talk about the compendiums. Go. Your opinion. Oh, for God's sake, now we're going to go for real. Let's just assume it's not going to happen. So, what do you think of the stretch goals? We haven't really talked about it, just you and me.
The stretch goals, I don't
Yeah.
remember them all by heart. I think some of them are definitely better than others, but
That's a very general statement.
well, I'm gonna have to see the list to remember it again. So
okay.
I only read them this morning once, so like,
Yeah,
Don't remember
I
them
wasn't. Well, nothing really stood out to me, so a little bit disappointing overall. But hey, the prize pool money is all that really matters, I suppose, as long as it's divided evenly. Demons getting caught out a bit, but who's the one being caught out? Really, only one stack of sticky napalm.
Inflame.
Inflame.
30 experience from level 6, which would have secured
Yeah.
a kill here pretty much, and now Weaver's gonna go down and intimidate with a haste rune. Nothing more gonna come out of this. Let's have a look at the status quo in this game. So Bad Rider has 1,000 gold. There's a double stack here in this camp. There is a triple stack in this camp. So he will very easily be able to get his Blink Dagger within the next 2 minutes. Black is getting decent farm. Weaver, still the top farmer in that mid lane, as expected, will be winning the lane against Bad Rider. And then the top lane, Doom, sitting on 26 CS against the 22 of Clockwork. So a pretty even lane overall.
Could we take a look at Sand King, Conrad? I'd really appreciate that. I wish we could have like a TriCast with the cameraman. That would be just a real dream. His level 3. So this is the issue I was going to talk about. Like we might have a hook shot here from June, but nothing will come of it yet. Actually, the Mirana's all by herself, so
Yeah, this
obviously
is
the
a
TPs will be
possible
forced.
opening. They want to force the leap so that they can hookshot after that.
Yeah.
The problem is it's kind of hard. Oh, this is an interesting stat. No professional player has played Phantom Lancer more than Black. He has a very impressive 48% win rate on the
It's
hero.
not too bad, Mirana. Not too bad, that 48%, I'll tell you what. June is still waiting on the side here. I guess he's trying to get the leap baited out, obviously, since won't be
Since
able to
I
kill
just
him
said
without
that,
it.
yes, that's a good
Yeah.
point.
48% win rate. I hear that's pretty good too. So I don't know what you think about that, but Inflame will have his.
Oh!
It's baited. It's baited. How did that even hit? The nipples are up, along with the battery assault, but there's not enough damage, along with the triple TP action from Tongfu.
Please, can you call the cogs something else?
What? That's what I think of.
Call
What do
them
you-
the pacifiers or something.
Oh,
The
honestly,
nipples around.
there was a time where I wanted to call it that, but it just never comes to my mind right away, if that makes sense.
Sorry, Fox.
Doom.
Wonder who's going to be sorry now. Okay, no one is. He's just going to be running away, so excellent. Oh, Black again, showing himself.
Doesn't have any detection for Black, so he's just going to be resigned to taking out this illusion. And June actually is the one in trouble. They could dive this pretty deep if they
Nice
want to.
cog
The cogs
here.
are
He does have
up.
a TP, so he should be able to
Oh,
get
arrow! It's going to show him. Only a 650 range now, but it's plenty to find him there. Double TP action. Actually, Tongfu might be stuck here. Doom gets Burrow Strike. AA ult on the way. It's going to hit Kaboo and nobody else. Doom, though, in a terrible, terrible spot. He's going to... That's a bug. He did not buy back. I don't know. That's still a bug?
Huh?
It shows buyback on my screen, but
oh, yeah, that's a
it's
little
not.
weird. It doesn't on mine. Okay.
So anytime he buys back now, I won't actually know, so you're going to have to tell me.
Pretty serious overcommitment here from
Blame
Tongfu
Conrad.
diving in here. I actually thought that was going to go bad for Clockwork, who could have TP'd out the whole time, but he knew exactly what he was doing with the bait there, and it's going to give them an easy kill, so they're up 4-1. And AO, worth noticing, is at level 6 on the AA. I think he got it at like 8 minutes, which is really early, and he threw an AA ultimate across the entire map from the top lane, so of course a huge AoE, and he's actually going to get the solo kill on Mr. Luke here. He was mid-cast animation on the living armor, which could have kept him alive, but
I don't know if that
swing his
maybe
arms
would've been
fast enough.
Well,
He's a little more practice on that. Thank you, Conrad. You're a great tree impersonator.
bottom lane, Black doesn't have a whole lot of mana. Doppelwalk's actually decently expensive, and that's something you really don't encounter too often, just because you always see Coddle with the Phantom Lancer, honestly. But Triple U 9, otherwise known as 7, will be making his way towards the rune at the 10-minute mark, of course. Let's see what he gets. He gets absolutely nothing.
Region top. So you have a really good point here. Black on the PL. PL is usually played together with some sort of mana regen, either Coddle or CM Aura or something like that. And he also hasn't bought his Basilius. So Black's mana regen is actually really... It leaves a lot to be desired. Having 1.4 on PL is just not good enough. You need to sustainably harass.
Top lane, lasso initiation from Inflame, along with the Burrow Strike, should be enough to take out the tree, even though I believe he might have gone Invis there, but either way, it doesn't matter. Moonlight Shadow's up, so looking for that to be used offensively here. As Miran's actually level 7, so I'm surprised we haven't seen that as of yet, unless I missed it. Cog's coming out, burning a little bit of mana from Kaboo, but nothing to write home about. Well, I don't know. Well, actually, top lane, before we get into that, sentry placed, and, well, Weaver now knows that there's a sentry placed, so that's not the greatest of timing, but hey, it's there for later, I suppose, in case he forgets.
Yeah.
Hook shot, hook shot, hook shot, hook shot, hook shot, hook shot. Not gonna happen.
Okay,
it's an awesome animation.
June is playing as seriously as we are casting right now. That's excellent, or as you are casting, I should say. So looking good for CIS so far. Of course, they're up 6-1. The goal is pretty insignificant though, and that's partially because there's a Doom on Tongfu's side, and partially because the CS is still favoring them. The Weaver is the top farmer, and both Mirana and Doom sitting on 40. So looking pretty good. Hook shot actually going to hit the creep wave, and nothing much going to come out from this from June. So effectively just wasting that in the mid lane. Now, Doom is going to get farmed. He has a mech in 100 gold, which I think is going to be really important for Tongfu's lineup overall. They want to teamfight and put pressure before PL comes online. And what did Black just buy? He's going for a full Vlad's. It's going to be flying out now, so more pushing potential, mana regen.
I was going to actually ask about that. Like, what is a typical build on PL these days? Like, is Vlad's normal?
In some games, I think the most classic PL build is still to get an early diffusal, or Radiance if you go greedy, but Vlad's is picked up more and more frequently because, of course, the pushing power is great, the mana regen is important, and the lifesteal only works on the main. The damage aura even doesn't work on the illusions, so it's kind of underwhelming for his entire illusion aspect.
Do you not bother with drums anymore?
On PL? That's a good question. That's another build.
Especially without a Coddle.
Especially considering how... Oh, I guess Black is like, okay, my drums on Naga weren't really that useful, so I'm going to try something else this game.
Oh my god. Yeah, praise God he's not going that now to think of it. Jesus. But, yeah, the Vlad should be okay, I guess. It's alright, I guess. 4 out of 9 PLs and 6.1 have bought Vlads. Oh,
is that their first item, or later on? Because you can also buy something else first and then transition into a Vlad as a second item. But
Trees Invis here, Clockwork, finding his way towards tier 1. It's a trap! It's a trap. A blast coming in, Leech Seed. Oh, trying to get his hook shot up, but it's going to be the cogs, unfortunately. Drained of mana completely. Kabu taking some damage from the tower. Apparently, Phantom Lancer getting a kill on Marana in this meantime, which is shocking, actually. Well, I guess there was a Bat Rider involved as well, so...
Yeah.
Not
Easy
too big a
setup,
surprise.
and even a Sand King, but Tongfu is still going to get a tower. They had to sacrifice the Marana bot lane for it, but they're going to probably be okay with this. They're trading tier 1 for tier 1. Not the best of trades, but most importantly for Tongfu, just get towers down. Start pressuring the map, take control all over the place, and see if you can put pressure before Black gets farmed. I think this is... Like, we saw the game LGD versus CIS earlier today, which is, by the way, the only game LGD lost in the group stage. This is, to me, the exact same scenario. CIS want to try to avoid teamfights, they want to get pickoffs with their gankers here, and then they want Black to farm. And then, eventually, when this goes super late game, Tongfu does not have enough AoE damage to deal with the PL illusions, and he will be pushing the towers with illusions only.
Well, yeah, I like that comparison, because Inflame was playing Invoker, I believe.
Yes.
And he was creating a lot of space, and this time he's playing Bat Rider and doing the exact same thing. We
Good
saw
point.
him help... Well, actually, we didn't see him help kill Marana, but obviously that is exactly what happened. Black is the first one to buy Vlad's on PL as his first item.
In this
This
first
patch.
first ever.
6.81.
It has never been done before.
Not even in pubs it's never been done. It's just crazy.
That's what I was curious about, because PL Vlad's isn't that uncommon, but in many games you will see him buying something else first, either the drums or diffusal, or maybe something completely different like a Soul Ring. Maybe Soul Ring in this game wouldn't have been too bad, since there is no mana regain mechanism for him like a Coddle or a Crystal Maiden, but so far so good for Black though. He's 72 CS at 15 minutes, which isn't too bad, and he's got the 1 kill and 2 assists. Level 10 is definitely acceptable. Top lane, AA ultimate will be flying in, and hook shot as well.
Hook shot on the Doom. A-Blast gonna go, but there's the Doom on top of June. It rhymes because it's so good, but
That doesn't
Doom,
rhyme
Doom June, that's close enough. I don't know.
by your standards.
I'm American, so yeah. I don't know what you're trying to say, Syndrin.
Touché.
Marana picks up Doom apparently buys back in his death. I'm just going to keep referencing that over and over.
That's a weird bug.
Yeah. I don't know why I didn't do it
Is
for
it like
you.
that every time he dies? Or
No, it's just constantly
The
on the
number's
screen.
actually
We have initiation, Bat Rider onto Weaver, who does have time lapse, decides not to use it, and will, in addition, just use his bottle to help regen himself, I suppose. When can Weaver start fighting? Because you're right, once PL... I mean, the space is being created for PL. Sand King, I'm sure, will have his Blink Dagger at some point this game. Can we click on Sand King, actually? I'd like to... The other team, there you go, Conrad, thank you very much. Level 8, 1,200 gold. So, still a ways away, but now that he has Sandstorm level 3.
yeah, this is a triple stack as well.
Yeah, he's going to get that Blink pretty quick. So,
It's almost
I feel
enough.
like Doom... I don't know. So I'm looking at Tongfu's lineup. They have decent initiation from Nyx, I suppose. Doom, I'm not sure what he's going for. Like a Blink Dagger. I know he had a mech, but I'm not sure if a Blink Dagger's in his on his list of things to buy. But that might be a good idea. In this
I would
game.
agree. I think Blink Dagger is crucial here. It's not... You can't put all the pressure on Sand King to be initiating... on Nyx Assassin, especially since he hasn't got a single assist yet, 16 minutes in.
Right.
They haven't really been able to find anything across the map. It's mainly CIS initiating by means of hookshot or by the Blink Lasso, and as long as Tongfu are the ones getting initiated on instead of initiating, they will be picked off. These are just so great mechanisms that CIS have to pull this off, and of course when Sand King gets the Blink Dagger, it's going to be even easier. However, Tongfu are doing a pretty good job at staying on par as far as gold is concerned. 1,500 gold is the lead for Tongfu, as a matter of fact. They're down 7 kills, but they still have a gold lead, and of course that's mainly because they're ahead 2 towers. But then in addition to that, there's of course the Devour on Doom, there's the Midas on Marana, and I believe there's no Midas on the Radiant side. Yeah, PL didn't go for one.
These are, this game and the game that we cast for CIS are the only two I've seen for them in the qualifiers. Do you know if they do any other strat? Or are they just like this whole 4 protect 1?
What was the last game I saw when Black was playing Morphling? I think that was also kind of 4 protect 1, but I don't think he was a safe laner in the game. He was a mid laner in that one.
Okay.
But they generally play with one really solid late gamer and a lot of mid game. That doesn't necessarily mean it's 4 protect 1. But
yeah, that's
of
true.
course it is an option for the lineup to play like that. Nice AA ult, by the way. It's going to scout out the Roshan attempt from Tongfu. They're persistent. They're just staying here with an AA ult on 3 of their heroes. And now finally they're going to be like, okay, this might be a little bit too risky. Impale will kill off the PL illusion, but
More rockets to follow.
they're
as well.
continuing. Oh, U9 needs
Well,
to
the
be a little
DD
careful.
on Weaver is pretty good. Pretty good. Mech's going to be popped, though, and they're just going to abandon this the search for the bowels within Roshan himself. So Sanking should be getting the Blink Dagger relatively shortly, and I think the real issue here against PL is just not having any AoE damage. I mean, Overgrowth does no damage these days, and Doom isn't. Like Scorched Earth, is that like the most AoE you have?
Gonna kill all the
Impale.
healers with Scorched Earth and Impale, and Shikuchi, not to be underestimated, together with Starstorm.
Maybe Scorched Earth with a Veil of Discord.
I mean, for now, they actually do have enough, but the moment PL gets a heart, they can't deal with him anymore. And that's really a big problem for them, because they're not taking any initiative.
This really is exactly like the Naga game.
I'm wondering what Tongfu's game plan is. I feel like they picked this to start taking fights. They got the mech on Doom to team fight. They're farming. And it's a lost game if they play a farming game. I cannot imagine how strategically they're going to win this game past the 40-minute mark. And that's why CIS are like, okay, you guys want to farm? We'll farm. And whenever we have
Conrad
Lasso,
can't find the Blink Dagger.
whenever we have Lasso, we're going to get the kill.
Oh, that was awesome. He's so happy. He's like, hey, there's a wait. Where's the blink? Where's the blink go? I can't find it anymore.
He sold it again. He bought it in the side shop.
Yeah.
I guess Conrad figured that out. So Sanking with the blink, level 9. Might see an initiation here on the bottom lane. There's the AA ult and the Burrow Strike.
Boom!
Kaboom! On Kaboo.
Peace. So good.
God.
So CIS doing a very good job of creating space, as we've talked about time and time again. It's just in a variety of ways. It's not just like a combo kind of thing. So they're switching it up, and Tongfu is on the back foot right now. I don't know, what do they do exactly? Like, what is Marana's farm right now? I want to see if they have any like real late game potential.
She's going Lincolns.
What is up with everybody going Lincolns on this wench? Every time.
It makes sense against Batrider's Lasso, of course, but he already has 4 staff. We're 20 minutes in.
Oh, okay. I didn't even look at the line. I didn't even care. It's just every single game,
Yeah,
no matter what
but
you go up against, it's always
again,
a Lincolns on Marana.
Like, just from a strategic point of view, to me, there's a complete disconnect here. They're playing a late game Marana build against a PL. She should be playing for heavy impact right now. Either you get like something like a Deso or a Drum, like just items that are effective now, and you search fights.
Right.
They're behind 9-1. They're content to farm. CIS are getting all the pickoffs, and it's just a farm game.
Well, in a lot of ways, the
Lincoln
Lincoln
game for Tongfu. They
Right.
can't just. It's a best of one for who gets to the upper bracket. Right now, Tongfu are looking like they don't. I wouldn't say it looks like they don't care, but it looks like they don't know how they're supposed to deal with this type of strategy. And
Right.
this strategy is very, very simple. It's a classic strategy that they must have played against in the past. This classic pick-off strategy with a late game carry, if you want to call it 4 Protect 1, which so far I don't know if I feel like they've been playing it as a 4 Protect 1, but this is just very, very standard play out from CIS. They know what they're doing. Tongfu need to get something done. They tried the Roche, didn't work.
Until Marana actually has some right-click items, like getting a Lincoln Sphere just means that Batrider is not going to go on you, right? So that means it's going to go on somebody else, which is more important to the team at this point in the game, at least. So I feel like you're right. Getting a damage item first and then a Lincoln's after would have been better, because then she's actually a target that they would want to lasso and take out of the fight
they can just
immediately.
ignore her right now.
Right, like there's no need to do like, okay, Marana's going to right-click us with a Lincoln Sphere, big whoop. But yeah, I mean, Phantom Lancer's just farming away. He's the top farmer in the game right now. But of course, there's a better spread for Tongfu, so we got to keep that in mind. They have the 2nd through 4th top net worth in the game currently, so their spread is not too bad. June is going to be pushing this top lane. Actually, this is going to open up the Roshan, and this might. Well, actually, I'm surprised Roshan's almost at full HP again. He was at half, so it's very fast.
He generates fairly quickly here. Tongfu weren't afraid of showing that they were going for Roche. The rocket was already in the area, and they're starting to TP down heroes. So the tier 1 top is actually going to be abandoned here by CIS. And I guess Tongfu are going to be okay with this. At the very least, they stopped the push. Now they have to stop the push in mid, which Black is performing with nothing but illusions. And speaking of Black, he has a lot of gold. I'm not sure what he's waiting for. Maybe he wants to one-shot a heart, not completing his Manta with the Yasha. Or, well, what else would be a good choice here? I think the heart is a great go-to, and then into Diffusal 2, and then just start taking objectives. Everything is completely going according to CIS's plan. Can't fault them for not being more aggressive. I feel like they've done their job.
Mid, there are the... See, I can't even think of the word cogs, because all I think is nipples, but either way, June getting caught out with the AA. Cold feet, he's going to get 4-step, and all likely will go down to the Sakuchi. And another buyback bug. This is ridiculous.
Would you have another buyback bug?
That's freaking clockwork now.
Okay, that's really
Conrad,
really
blame Conrad, man. He did something, obviously. Something was done by Conrad. By the end of the game, everybody's going to have this bug. Everybody's bought back.
Everyone bought
forever and ever and ever. But the DD's still on Weaver, so this is the third time I'm going to say this should open up the Roshan for Tongfu. Of course, have the Medallion of Courage here, but the lasso's down, and they know that.
Really, Black? That's so greedy.
AA ult.
Oh, he got it!
What? Oh, the AA ult got it?
Oh, boy.
I thought that was a little late, but I think that was
Give
because
this
of
man
the
a
lag.
medal.
That is pretty sick.
I have seen this once before, I think. Only one time. Or maybe that wasn't AA, but I think Aki once stole it with, was it Illuminate or something like that? But this is just so incredibly rare.
Man,
Sometimes you can pull it off. That was just ridiculous.
If only he was in range to get all the XP. He'd be like level 11 or something like that by now. That would be so sick. But Black goes for a Radiance, so pretty juicy.
That's just I feel like that's a bit too greedy here. And again, it's interesting to see Black's approach to this. In the Naga game, he had complete free farm. He went Drum first, then Radiance. This game, he has PL free farm. He went he went Vladimir's into Yasha and then Radiance. I mean, sure, it's incredibly greedy, but at the same time, you can't really, like, if the game goes on like this, he's analyzing the game situation. Tongfu aren't doing anything. Why don't I just maximize my farm?
Well, this is unlike the game that we cast where he went ultra conservative. I mean, they still ended up winning, but we felt that it was kind of unnecessary because there was no pressure being made to apply it, like, to him directly. And he's doing the complete opposite, and I like that. So it means this game will be over sooner, basically, because Tongfu, it's not over yet.
Oh, Bad Rider!
Lincoln Sphere popped already. There's the lasso. AA ult. Lots of ults, actually. Epicenter was used as well. So going to secure the kill. Probably the right choice. So CIS, even more space created for this PL.
Inflame is a really good space creator. We talked about the game against LGD, how much space he made on the Invoker, and Fear said he was the most important player of the game, which I could pretty much agree with. Sure, the Naga from Black ended up ending the game, but that's what he was supposed to do in that game. The Invoker made a lot of space. He's doing it again now with Bad Rider. Excellent gank here. Blink, instant 4-staff into Lasso on the Weaver. Easy kill. Demon's following up with his Sand King, which is one of his trademark heroes, together with Dazzle. CIS are just playing so well. This is the type of play that makes them worthy of being in the upper bracket, I feel. They're playing very solidly. They know exactly what their strategy is, what they are aiming for, what they want to execute. You can feel like their style is boring, or that you wouldn't want to play this way, but they're just doing what they need to do with their strat. This is how you play like this. And then there's a lot of teams that don't play like this anymore because they feel like they get punished. But especially in this Chinese qualifiers, the teams are playing very, very farm-oriented a lot. And CIS have analyzed the situation and realized we just go for the greediest late-game carry, and then we make a lot of space with the other heroes, and we pull through.
I'd be interested.
Very well
do you know how CIS matched up against DT in the qualifiers?
I think DT won that.
Because DT's very mid-game oriented.
Yes,
so I'd
exactly.
be interested to see how this kind of strategy works out against somebody that can apply tons of pressure in the mid-game. But either way, what was I going to say?
A ult. Close call. Might have actually been a kill there. They could have blinked with Sand King and followed through.
Oh boy. Cogs. June, he's going to get doomed. Trying to run
Cogs
away.
are just
Beautiful
perfect.
Cogs, though.
The best nipples you have ever seen.
Pretty much. Weaver's going to attempt to catch up. I'm not sure if he has enough damage, and Inflame is here to help support. I was going to say that Doom really hasn't had any impact on this game. I mean, he's doomed a few people. I think only getting like one kill from those Dooms, though. Can we actually click on Doom? That'd be great, Conrad. Appreciate that.
He's got Mech BKB, a stick.
He's refusing.
Oh, I'll tell you what he has.
Thank you. I'll just click on your
He's 0-2-0. I'm assuming Blink is next. He's got 1800 gold banked up and not using it. And this is also how I believe Sorry Fox he played. Did he play Doom the last game we watched?
I'm not
with
sure.
them? I believe he went this exact same build.
Well, he has to get Blink, like 100%.
I'm still wondering if Tongfu are like, we're really pressured, we can't find an opening, or if they're actually legitimately content with the situation. If it's the latter, I couldn't disagree more. So, do they feel like they're pressured so hard that they can't make openings? Then they're just being completely outplayed, if that's the situation. If they think this is okay, then I think they're being out-strategized. It's like, you could say at the end it's the same result, but it's two different problems that they could be having.
Lincoln's popped again, but not able to get the lasso off. Actually,
does
Epicenter
he even
and
need
Burrow
to?
Strike. Arrow's not going to hit, but Weaver will fall. So CIS, another great gank, this time upon Weaver. I believe it's the second time in a row that he's died to a similar gank. And, well, it sounds like a broken record. They're just creating so much space for pushes, for farming. In this case, definitely pushing for the tier 2 tower. And, well, Black is turning into an absolute beast. Doombringer picks up a Blink Dagger. We're hearing a hook shot. And, well, that is a dead Treant, to say the least. Actually, Arrow's going to hit June. Doom pops his BKB. I believe that's a very high-level BKB. Doom applied to June. Now he's going to chase him. There should be a kill. There's the Blink Dagger coming to effect. Not really needed too much, though. Right-clicks upon AO. Not going to do it. Cold Feet. Doesn't look like it's going to proc, but there's the Flame Break. And enough damage from Black and company to take him out. U999, did he actually buy back, or did he just... Or was that that was the Aegis, probably, huh?
The Aegis was on Mirana. He must have bought back.
Okay.
He did buy back. Yeah. So... excellent execution from CIS. Oh, nice arrow, but Demons is going to stay alive here, and the tier 2 will fall. And Black is just out of control. He's got Manta, Vlad's, Radiance, and 2.4k gold, so can build a heart very, very soon. The Naga game went to, what was that, 65 minutes?
It was too long.
I'm going to call that this game is over before 45. It might be a bold statement, but CIS are just
rolling.
rolling.
I agree.
They're
and
just rolling
the
so
real
hard.
difference is that Black did not go conservative as far as items are concerned. He's gone 64 minutes, apparently. He's gone, I'm not going to call it greedy. Well, I guess you can call it greedy, but he's getting away with it, and he should get away with it, because they're getting so much space created for them. But he picks up a Manta now, and I would assume now he goes Heart. Like, that is got to be the next item for him. Kabu. He's going to find Sand King. He's going to wait for that Sandstorm to... Oh, well, Demons is just going to blink out. Oh, Sandstorm again. He could just pop Spike Carapace. In fact, he's just going to use Impale. But it's not going to be able to get the kill.
Doesn't have the damage alone. And makes you wonder, why is Kabu out surging on his own? He can't solo kill anyone on the map. So, like, you would say just from a draft perspective that the guy he could perhaps solo kill is the AA, but then you look at AA's inventory and then you're like, nope, cannot solo kill this AA. 1200 health.
You know what's interesting in the Chinese scene that I've noticed that in the other qualifiers wasn't the case? When Mirana's picked, and not necessarily a bad thing, but there's almost no setup for arrows, especially in the laning phase. And why is that? We're going to see actually a really early Veil of Discord onto the Sand King. So
together with Black's Diffusal 1.
Oh, he did pick up Diffusal, so...
Yeah, I thought he was going to get Heart, because I feel like maybe then you just take all the towers and maybe you can even get a lane of Rax. But
well, at this rate, he'll have a Heart pretty soon anyway, so...
It's just a matter of when they feel comfortable ending the game. This Diffusal is going to give him more ganking and fighting potential than the Heart, I think, right now. And no doubt Heart is his next choice. So he will be getting that. But he feels like Diffusal is the better choice right now, which is perfectly fine. Tongfu are trying to get something done. They're gathering up to the bottom, kind of a desperation move at this point. In Flame is going to spot them out. Found the Weaver. And now, oh, he's really confident here. That's going to...
Shadow
nice
in
BKB
Flame.
though.
BKBs, Force Staffs, not able to get on the other side of the cliff. I'm not sure why
but
Doom
Sand
didn't
King
do
with
him.
the
Sand King with the
epi.
Epicenter. Double Burrow Strike, AAL to come in. Overgrowth, not there. Apparently you already used it, actually. Cog's going to be placed as a zoning technique. And the right clicks continue. This time AA is going to go down, so it's going to be... Well, eventually will go down. It's a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of CIS. As Weaver trying to right click, but just doesn't have the damage right now. As Inflame's going to finish off the Mirana with the Lincoln Sphere. So no damage from Mirana. Triple U9 is forced to TP out, and June...
Notice the juke spot that June used there walking in here. This is a
pretty
really
sick.
sneaky spot.
That
That's
was
very
really good.
rarely used, and love seeing him with the knowledge here of this opportunity to go in there. So 4-for-1 exchange by CIS again. It seems every single fight they don't just come out ahead, they come out severely ahead, and now maybe the Roshan. Actually, no, there's 1.5 minutes on that, so not just yet. Weaver in the mid lane. Time lapse is available, but...
Oh, Blink Impale, Mana Drain, or Mana Burn, I should say. He put
not
everything on Batrider. Still won't be able to pick up the kill, though. So, Kabu, unfortunately, as well as he has played in the past games, just doesn't have the support from his team, really. Like, his Impales have been really good. Spike Carapaces, I haven't personally seen the greatest usage yet. I'm sure there have been. Of course, against Batrider, it's just a given. Demons. He's going to find Kabu, but nothing will come of this. But it's just... It's kind of just unfortunate based on the drafting. Look, can you answer my question about the Mirana? Why the whole setup?
It's a good question. It seems like something... You're absolutely right, that especially the Americas qualifiers so far put a lot of emphasis on. When you get the Mirana, you get a Shadow Demon setup, you get alternative Sun setups, maybe the Bane Mirana combo, which was has been really popular. We saw that in our first game we cast in this qualifier, actually. That was a Bane Mirana being run in that game.
Yeah.
That's the only time we've seen it. And running Mirana... and not using the arrow a lot in the early game to set up kills, I feel like there's, in most cases, just going to be better choices. That's what the hero is all about. That's why you pick her, especially if you want to run her as a carry. Else there's just other range carries you can farm and use in that regard. Moonlight Shadow, of course, is an important ability too, but let's be honest, Tongfu has barely used it in this game. So
AA picks up an Aghanim's Scepter. So team fight is now out of control for CIS and Tongfu. They have good late game, but against the PL, I'm not quite sure, especially when Mirana just has no damage to speak of, and they really don't have much team fight either. I mean, they have Overgrowth into what, really? There's no great combination. There's single target Doom, we have a right-click, Moonlight Shadow, Initiation. It's an uphill battle for Tongfu. Maelstrom is now on Mirana, I guess, but it's just, that's not going to do a whole lot. I guess it's good against the illusions for pushing and whatnot, but still. Once PL picks up that heart, that Maelstrom's going to do jack crap.
They can't deal with the illusions anymore. Black will have heart in, let's see, what's that? 1500 gold? Unless he has the recipe? No. So 1500 away. I think that's what CIS are waiting for with going high ground. They're going to push the tier 2 here, which I think they can get for maybe for free. Oh, arrow almost catching out Black here, but they'll just be slow sieging this. There's no split push coming out from Tongfu, so no worries.
Oh, BKB initiation again, this time from Inflame. AA ult's going to hit 2, and that's an Aghanim's upgrade. Epicenter to follow. Overgrowth is here, but too much damage, I feel like, from CIS. Doom pops his BKB. He's just not doing any damage, though. Kabu goes down, even though he had Spike Carapace activated. Here comes PL, just right-clicking away. This got to be GG soon. I mean, this is getting out of control, and there it goes. I mean, it's unfortunate this game wasn't too close, but at least it wasn't one of those really extended games. I feel like Black played really well as far as his item
So
choices.
did Inflame again, the
Inflame.
Batrider.
Well, yeah.
So many
So
openings.
the reason that Black could farm is because of Inflame, and well, the other members on the team were also very helpful, but Inflame in particular. And then Black's choice of items meant that they could actually take the kills now and take the racks now if they wanted to, instead of a million years later. Hi, friends. Hello, friends. How are you?
It's such a weird thing for me to see, because as I pointed out during the game, this is such a classic strategy. There's nothing inventive about this coming out from CIS. It's something Tongfu should have read from the draft, something they should have been used to. And they just got completely caught off guard by it still. And not only that, but it's also the way, like you said, it's something we've seen from CIS in the tournament already. It's the way they choose to play their games. And Tongfu just completely fell into the trap, didn't really accomplish anything. They didn't have a strong trial lane against the PL, so Black could just farm. The Batrider was way more relevant than the Weaver from the mid lane farm, and then you had the Clockwork in the top lane who was way more relevant than the Doom. Right. So every single lane for CIS just went the way they wanted to.
But I feel like it's the matchups at the end of the day. It's not like Tongfu played terribly in the early game. I mean, they didn't play perfect, but just like you said, the Batrider versus Weaver, what are you really expecting out of that lane? I mean, Weaver takes so long to go online. Batrider just needs a blink and he's good to go.
Yeah.
So.
What do you think? You watched the game, Gods. Is there anything we're missing? Are we exaggerating on anything, or?
I think the early game, like, you're up against a PL, you've got to do much better in the early game. Like, that was where I feel Tongfu just fell behind. I mean, they end the game with 4 kills total. They never had any openings that game to get involved.
But was that attributed to CIS being really good at moving around the map and not giving openings, or was it because Tongfu couldn't find them and it was the fault with them?
I wasn't big on the Tongfu draft. I think picking, like, they didn't really make use of the Treant Protector to... I think when you pick the Treant Protector, you need another support so that you can be aggressive early on. Like, they just couldn't really find the openings to find the early game aggression. They end up losing the Tier 1 towers regardless, and from there it just kind of snowballed out of control. So, Tongfu, they dropped down to 3rd place. They're still in the playoffs. They're still guaranteed to be 3rd place, but it's CIS, top 2. One best of 3 away from going to CL. Either they have to beat the 1st place LGD or they've got to win the loser bracket final. So,
yep.
I'm scared for DT. I think they have a good chance still, but they put themselves in terrible position.
So there's a 3-way tie for 4th place going on between DT, HGT, and LGD CDEC. The first game is looking good for DT though. I was keeping an eye on that one.
HGT?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's in theory the tougher team there, but although LGD CDEC has kind of caught everyone by surprise, so. But DT are currently beating HGT, looking like they're going to do well. Thank you.
Oh, how cute.
That's what I was waiting for.
I know, that's why you wore that shirt today. That's what you wanted all day. I actually just put it on.
I just put it on now. For reasons I won't explain. Yeah, so DT, there's a 3-way tie for 4th place. One team out of DT, HGT, as well as LG CDEC is going to join the playoffs, so. I don't know. We're gonna join some of those tiebreaker matches later on, but for this match, CIS. I mean, a lot of people mention them as finishing top 4, but I don't think that many people expected them to do this well in the playoffs.
We were calling them as probably 4th place after HGT, DT, and LGD, and
well,
we were
HGT
talking about
is
maybe
underperformed and DT is underperformed. Honestly,
and CIS. I don't know. Are they playing out of their minds, or is it just the other teams underperforming and not being prepared for their strategies? I felt like many of the games we've seen CIS win, it's just they play something pretty standard.
Yeah.
They just take their time. They play their game. Are they just exploiting a weakness in this particular qualifier? Because I feel like this strategy from CIS this game, and perhaps the other Naga strategy in the game against LGD, either you don't get it, or you don't get away with it in the other regions. Perhaps there might be something, some truth to it.
Yeah.
We usually say that the whole thing with China, boring, FarmFest, Dota, these days are over, but it's just a fact that in these qualifiers, the games are way, way longer on average than the other qualifiers. We've had like 5 games going past an hour. We had a game that was 115 minutes. The teams are being really careful. I wonder if it's just because they're under pressure and they're like, we have to qualify for this. We need to be careful. This is an absolutely huge event. It could change our lives if we get a top placement there. Don't want to throw away any games, but if that's the whole mentality, then I think CIS are just being really smart. They're getting the greediest draft.
It's weird
and getting away with it.
CIS have not impressed me. I think CIS played how I expected them to play. I think it's DT Club and DT Club especially, who I thought would do a lot better. I think HGT coming in, they've been playing a few matches with CTY, and I was like, well, CTY is kind of shaky. He's obviously wins his lane, but throws the game later on. But I think for the most part, CIS have just been the most consistent team of this qualifier, and that's what guarantees you a top 2 spot. Suddenly they're in the top 2, and teams like DT Club and HGT are not in there. So for HGT, they've potentially lost their first match of the 4th place tiebreakers matches. So
then they're under a lot of pressure, because not only do they have to win the other game, but
they have to hope C-Deck beat.
Oh well, they have to win that game, and then C-Deck has to even beat.
Yeah.
Or
C-Deck
has to lose actually. Then HGT are no wait, it's a 3-way tie.
Three-way tie for 4th.
Right.
So
it's
one
only
team.
One slot.
Yeah.
That's different from the other ties we had.
They haven't lost. They haven't lost yet. But from what I was looking from the game, they were looking pretty much screwed. Like they were.
That's a lot of pressure to be under, because if they lose that game to Dreamtime, it's out of their hands actually. They can't even be sure they go through.
Yeah.
And Dreamtime versus C-Deck. I think Dreamtime are going to analyze the situation with C-Deck, which they were close to beating the main LGD team with a late game Naga, which is kind of.
Have you seen any of the C-Deck? Personally, I've not seen a single full C-Deck. I haven't casted C-Deck. I've seen a few of their games.
I caught the tail end of the game that I think you saw more of it though.
They were playing a game where they had 4 heroes that didn't really have that good farm, and then they had an excellent farm on a late game Naga against a team without real Naga counters. They still lost the game, which, like Fear said, they should have won that game flat out against the main LGD team, but experience and perhaps a bit of outplay did take the game for LGD. I think Dreamtime going into the match against LGD C-Deck, if they beat HGT, they're going to analyze C-Deck's previous games, what they got away with, and then I think Dreamtime are just going to be the better team. They're going to win that, and then that 3-way tie is just over. If a team goes 2-0, it's done.
You don't actually need to play the 3rd match there. So I'm not sure how they order the matches. Yeah. I'm not sure what that's going to be, and as I said, DT versus HGT still not over. Just DT were ahead by like 15k gold and looking very, very convincing. But for now, CIS secure themselves top 2. Dreamtime just won. Okay, confirmed from K-pop Tosis on the production crew. So Dreamtime just have to win one more match against LGD C-Deck, a very inexperienced team, but at the same time, they started off 0-3. They ended the day 5-4. They won 5 games in a row before losing their last match. So. I don't think you can really count out LGD C-Deck in that match there.
I don't think you can count out anybody, honestly. This has been, nobody's expected. LGD being number 1, I think everybody pretty much had them at least top 2, if not the first place. But everything else has just been all over the place.
I know talking to you're really looking forward to the Chinese qualifiers. Have they lived up to expectations, or have they disappointed? Because I feel like these Chinese qualifiers have not been as impressive as everyone expected.
As far as individual or just the overall skill of the teams in terms of the games, which I was looking forward to LGD's performance as a team, Dreamtime, and maybe HGT. I would say if I had to choose one team that has really disappointed me, perhaps, I guess it would be HGT if I had to choose one out of those 3 that I think hasn't played that well. Dreamtime's score is weaker than what I would have expected, but in the games they play well, I feel like they've still played really well. And that's what I'm going to hold on to when we go into the playoffs, is that if Dreamtime get into those playoffs, I'm still taking them for top 2. Because when we get into best of 3 series, a team like CIS, I feel like they're going to be figured out now. right?
Yep.
They keep running the same kind of stuff, and a team like LGD is a really good strategic team, have good leadership, generally good drafts. They will know how to deal with CIS. I'm expecting LGD to win that series 2-0. Then if CIS drops down, they will be meeting the winner of HGT and Dreamtime Dreamtime and Tongfu, should Dreamtime go through.
Yeah.
I'm picking Dreamtime for that one.
Okay.
And then it's going to be Dreamtime versus a CIS, which would be coming off a loss, which would have had their playstyle figured out, and then I still have Dreamtime as my favorite. So I'm holding on to my top two.
Nothing against CIS, but I think Dreamtime would crush them with their mid-game dominance.
And I think if you look, Dreamtime are in this mass tie for 4th place, but you look at some of their losses, they lost it. One of the games I was around for was against New Element. They got cheese. New Element went for a level 1 Roshan strat. They had a super early game push strat and just won the game based on pure drafting strategy and the fact that Dreamtime did not scout out the level 1 Rosh. So I think if you look at Dreamtime, I think if all the group stage matches were best of 3, they would finish top 2, top 3. I think they're only in this 4-way tie because of the best of 1 format. So.
Yes. And now that it really matters, it seems like they perform.
Yeah.
They beat HGT convincingly from the sounds of it. And I'm expecting the same from them against CDEC, to be honest. So we'll see how that goes.
That'll be coming up here next. I believe AC and Phil will be joining us in the main studio. So thanks, guys, for casting that game. Big shout to Conrad, who managed to... do we call it observing that game?
I don't know what the hell he was doing, but
it
it was awesome, whatever it was. As he gets a little silhouette here.
Easy.
We love you, Conrad. Well done.
Big thanks to all the production crew here at BTS. Conrad, K-Pop-Tosis, as well as Roland, who've done a fantastic job throughout. But you guys have been listening to Suns Fan as well as Syndra. This is the TI4 qualifiers presented by Monster Energy. We've got more tiebreak matches coming up next. Right now, DT Club looking good to secure 4th place, but they've got to win one more match against LGD CDEC. More tiebreak matches coming up after a quick break. Stay tuned.